We can already see the signs that we're approaching the end of the year very quickly. As I was saying, 2025 is nearly over. So considering that, let me ask you some questions. Have you done everything that you wanted to do this year? Are you better off than you were in January? And if so, how much better off? I believe that now is the perfect time to answer those questions, many more others, and also do the things required in order to make sure that you will have success in the upcoming year. So let's look at 7 things you must do before 2026 rolls around. Before we get into the list, I just want to mention that this video was created based on my experience, which means that it's for people that want to grow and also to become successful. If that's you, awesome. I'm sure this entire list will bring you a lot of value, but the most important item is the last one. Of course, not everybody is like that, but if you at least want to improve yourself in the upcoming year in whatever you are pursuing, I'm sure that you will have something to learn from watching until the end. So let's get into it. First of all, don't give up. Try to finish what you've started, or at least try to get as far as possible. By this time in the year, most people have already given up on their goals because either they haven't made any progress at all, or they've seen that there's not enough time in order to finish them completely, but that's exactly why they are missing the point. Even if you can't reach some arbitrary metrics or milestones that you've set for yourself, you should at least aim to get as close as possible to them. So do the opposite of what most people do and double down on your work in order to reach those goals. And furthermore, if you're already there, don't become complacent. Try to go beyond those arbitrary metrics, overachieve your goals, and see how far you can get. Pushing yourself at the end further than you thought was possible a year ago is so much more rewarding, and also it could give you a huge boost towards becoming successful in your journey. The second item is to create an annual review. Take all of the data that you can gather, financial or other metrics that are relevant to your goals, and compare it with what you had at the beginning of the year. Every goal that you set will have at least one metric, ideally more than one, that could help determine that you're actually making progress. So if you haven't set those metrics from the start, you need to determine what they are and gather them all in one place. And if you think you don't have data that could help you measure your goals, you're most probably wrong, or at least not looking in the right direction. Your bank has data about your financial transactions, your running application has about your activity. Even using your current metrics together with guesstimating your historical data, if you don't have it, will be good enough as long as you're being honest about it. Having all of the data about your goals in one single place will give you a better perspective about how well you're doing across the board, but it also enables you to look at more in-depth things like where you've made the most and the least progress and how you need to adjust your effort, which actions that you've taken have made a significant progress and which ones have been just a waste of time, and many more others that could be relevant for you in order to better create a plan for the future. I'll leave in the description a Notion template that you could use for this, but you can use any format as long as it helps you understand where you currently are and where you need to go. Now, besides where you're going, it's also important to take an inventory of the resources that you have at your disposal. Every year, a lot of companies file for bankruptcy because they didn't manage their resources well and end up running out of money that they need in order to support their operations. And the same thing, it can happen to you. If you embark on a big, ambitious journey, it might burn through a lot of your money very quickly. So you need to know how long you can sustain that. In the end, you can't aim to climb Everest without having the proper gear first, so you might have to adjust your plan based on what resources you have available at the moment. That includes liquid assets, money, or other things that you can sell quickly in case you need more cash. Your skills, because those are very valuable resources that will stay with you a long time. If your goals are related to your career, you can also take this time to update your CV so you're ready for when the next opportunity rolls around. Your income sources are also important resources that you need to account for in your inventory because they are what will provide you with the fuel that you need for your journey. And last but not least, it's important to know any new connections that you've made that you could reach out to and they could help you on your journey. I'm sure you've heard the saying that your network is your net worth, and that becomes even more true the higher you aim with your goals. People that see the value in you and could use it will become your launch pad to success. Just as a side note here, in case you didn't know, your most important form of capital is your health, so take inventory of it as a resource, and if it's not in a perfect condition and you can fix it, do it. Once you have the inventory of your resources, you can go on to the next item on the list, optimizing your taxes. Taxes are awful, but you still need to do them, so why not instead use them in your favor rather than against you? It might be a bit too late to move countries this year in order to get a better tax system, but you can still work on other points. Most countries will provide you with some form of mechanism that you could use in order to optimize taxes, and you need to take full advantage of it in order to keep as much money as possible for yourself. Some examples included here are tax loss harvesting, maximum maxing out your retirement accounts, or if you have a company, reinvesting for growth in order to lower your taxable profit. After taking care of your taxes, you should also take a look at reducing your costs, because over the year you can accumulate a lot of those that you might no longer need. Filter what you need and don't need and close out the costs that are wasting your money. And for those costs that you still believe that you need, try to renegotiate them, look for cheaper options, or for subscriptions, consider getting an annual plan. It's similar as with taxes, the more money that you can keep for yourself, the better off you will be. A very good tip here is to look over every item in your bank statement so you won't miss anything that goes out of your bank accounts. The next item on the list, make a plan. Don't wait until New Year's Eve to create a list of emotional goals that you won't keep. Create a list of concrete goals that you will keep on working on and can actually deliver on them, maybe push a bit on what you believe is possible. Then take that list, break it down into milestones and the actions that you need to do in order to reach each one of those milestones, and that will be your plan for a successful 2026. You don't need to make it extremely detailed or complex. What's important is for you to create a plan that you can actually easily follow and work on. The only other thing that I believe that you should add to this plan that will increase its value even further is a list of prerequisites before you can actually get started on the work. Why would that be important? Because it ties perfectly into the last and the most important item on the list, lay down the groundwork for next year. The saying goes that most wars are decided before they are even fought, because it's all about being prepared. And it's kind of similar for self-improvement, because it's all about making it easier for future you. Most things, especially if they require other people, cannot be done overnight. So if you want to start crashing on day one, you need to be prepared way ahead of time. So, allocate the resources, buy the things that you need, talk with the people that should be involved, also you can start to deliver on January 1st or whenever you get back. That, together with all of the other items on this list, will make sure that you will be prepared in order to crush it in the upcoming year. Thank you for watching until the end. If you want to see more content from me about personal development or investing, you should see some other options on the screen. And also, let me know in the comments what kind of goals you want to achieve in the next year.